Shalom, and welcome back to B'nai Noach Academy, Thoughts on the Torah. Please remember to hit the like button, to subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and most importantly, to share this wisdom and inspiration with friends and family. When you look in the book of Leviticus, chapter 2, and it begins when a person will present from you an offering, a meal offering that is, for God, and then it goes into detail describing exactly what the ingredients for this meal offering, meaning a flour and oil offering to God. Now, this comes after a very lengthy description of the various offerings, depending on the financial ability of the person. When a person has to bring a sin offering, one could either bring an offering which is an expensive one if they're capable of it. And the Torah says that if one is not of that much means, one can bring a lesser offering, which is a smaller animal. Even if someone has less means than that, a little bird. And here we come to the smallest of the offerings, which is not even a living thing, but rather a little bit of flour, fine flour, and oil. But if you look in the Hebrew, it doesn't use the typical term for saying a person who shall offer, or if one of you offers. Rather, it says, it begins with the Hebrew word, v'nefesh ki takriv korban mincha Hashem. Literally translated, and a soul when it will offer a meal offering to God. Why does it use the word soul, which obviously is a reference to the person, a living soul? Well, the sages tell us that God is hinting something here to us. God is telling us here what the person is offering is so small. And compared to the above mentioned offerings, it seems so absolutely insignificant, almost as if it doesn't exist. Physically speaking, from a material standpoint, it is so miniature, it is so minuscule, it's almost not. But God says, that's not the way I look at it. That's not the way I see things. I'm looking at this very, very poor person who obviously can't even afford a bird offering. How expensive is that? And legitimately can't afford it. And certainly what he's offering now is his last pennies. But he's bringing it with his whole soul. He's bringing it with his whole heart. I consider it to him like he offered me his soul, because he gave it all he got. It's not about how big it is. It's about how much you have, how much you're contributing, how much you're giving. And this is an important lesson for us. When we look around, perhaps many times we encounter people who have more talents than we have, whether in certain areas or perhaps maybe in all areas or most areas. And we may think to ourselves, what is the worth? What really is the value of my offering to God, of my contribution to God's world? Does it really matter? Does it really have any impact? And here God tells us, yes, it does. I know I don't measure by the way other human beings measure. I don't measure the way society measures. I don't evaluate things the way the common people evaluate things because of their ignorance, because they can only see that far. God, I can look into your soul. I know what you're offering, and I know that you're giving all you got. To me, that is valuable. That is astounding, as if you gave your whole soul. When it comes to the rich person offering a big sacrifice, it doesn't say this. A man, a person, he's not giving everything he's got. When it comes even to the person of less means, it doesn't say this. But when it comes to the poor person who unfortunately has nothing to offer, but from the nothing that he has, he gives the best that he can, the very best. And to him, it's everything. He might now have to skip some meals because he just gave an offering to God. That, says God, is to me the most important. That is as if he offered me his soul. Remember that anytime you approach to fulfill a commandment of God or to do something kind to another, it may not be, headline grabbing. It may not have that impact that it's earth shattering that we're going to hear about it on the evening news or on the internet somewhere. But certainly God is watching, and God knows if you gave your whole soul. Give it all you got. Make it the best possible offering from you, from your capacity to God Almighty.